I think you need to talk to Craig Jones. And he was like, what does that mean? I was like, I mean, I think you have to go talk to him. And he was like, oh, I thought you meant we are going to do some cocaine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bulletproof BJ podcast. The highest of highlights from Las Vegas, CJI, ADCC. The trip was freaking epic. Now, this is some of the behind the scenes shit. You didn't see it. So we're very lucky we had both. We had young Jules, and we also had our boy Jack Attack, who are our YouTube videographer assistants, and they took some good footage, so you guys might have seen some of that. But there was plenty of stuff you didn't see.
Yeah, check the vlogs, by the way. You got some sick vlogs on YouTube.
Definitely. And we need to shine a light on this stuff, because some crazy stuff that went down, and if you didn't see it or you didn't hear it, it was epic. And so we need to bring a light on that.
Let's go there. Highlights, baby.
Baby, Lucas Kennard with possibly the biggest upset of the CJI.
Easily.
My God. And
if not both events.
Yeah, the submission of the tournament.
Bro, Victor Hugo, who I love Victor Hugo, right?
Amazing guy.
He's he's the guy at heavyweight. It's like, hey, he could have won it. Like, everyone's thinking it's going to be him and Nicky Rod in the final.
Sure.
And then Lucas comes out and
and he was a last minute replacement.
Yeah, right.
Because
Mason Fowler
withdrew. He was injured. I did speak to Mason about that afterwards. I said, "What's wrong with you?" No, it's fine.
So she's like, "Have you tried stretching it?"
But then Lucas gets the call up.
Yeah, Lucas gets, which, I mean, I don't know how Craig figured the invites, but it was like, holy shit, I don't know Lucas, right?
I didn't even know he would compete at heavyweight.
He's here from Sydney, like he's from our town. He's out at Sydney Wrestling Academy.
Yep.
And so you see him about like at Subversion and stuff. And yeah, I'm like, people are telling me he's a big guy, but I'm like, I don't think he's like Victor Hugo, Nicky Rod kind of big guy, which he's not. Like, it was like watching an absolute match.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big dude, don't get me wrong, but
by comparison, physically.
Yeah. And he throws the inside heel hook.
Inside heel
hook.
Bro,
he snapped that thing on so fast that you see Victor Hugo was just caught fully by surprise.
Yeah.
It was massive. That was, in my mind, equivalent in energy to when Haisam Rita submitted Cyborg in round 1 of ADCC 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was kind of like one of the first early matches.
Yeah.
And it was almost like everyone's kind of watching, spectating, and then this thing happens and everyone's like, oh shit. Yeah, that was enormous.
It was huge. And I mean, shout out to Lucas. He did win $50K from Newtonic.
Sure did.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm sure he invested that straight into cases of the drink.
He may have. But it's funny, I was talking to James Smith after the event, and he was like, I went and rolled with Lucas, and I've been telling everybody, these are James Smith's words, who's one of the co-founders of Newtonic. He was like, man, I've been telling everybody, like, this guy's going to leg lock somebody. Like, this guy is a surprising motherfucker, you know? And sure enough, he did.
So stoked for him.
It was an amazing moment.
Who knocked him out in the next round?
Did he lose to Hulk? Or Inacio. He gets squashed by Inacio.
Yeah,
potentially.
Guy. Yeah.
Just didn't let him get to the legs.
Yeah.
And just, meh.
Inacio Santos, right?
Yeah.
Had that prison yard vibe about him. Just like...
That's me.
No, but yes, he did. He was like, hey, if I'm casting people and I need some like Mexican gangsters from like South LA, I'm going to like pick that guy.
Bro, he was...
I know he's not Mexican as well, but full respect. He was a wedge, bro. Like him, him in particular, just like, that is... You do not want to grapple
You do not
against.
want him on you.
Like, you'd almost rather a Nicky Rod or something, because you're like, at least there's going to be some
might move
dynamic shit.
Yes.
Yeah, but him is just like
crush.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go to a slightly different highlight. On the first day, of Vegas, some edibles were brought to me.
Oh, don't sing that, bro, please.
So we
just lost about 1,000 viewers.
Nah, whatever. You. Stay tuned. So, unbeknownst to Joseph, because we got there a day early.
JT's wife is a pusher. Let's just cut to the chase. She's a pusher.
She loves a good time.
She loves it. You know, oh, edibles are legalized here. Great, I'll take everything.
No,
and you meet up, and then she's just like handing you these. Yeah, she just like, who wants it? Who wants it?
Because my partner Ola is always down for a good time. If you don't know already, she is Polish by descent and has great tolerance for many substances. And anyway, we went to the dispensary on the first day. There's one literally like 2 blocks from our hotel. And we went in there. She's like, "Oh, just have a look." It looked super dodgy from the outside. It just had like windows all kind of plastered up. You get in, it's like an Apple store. Like everyone's really nice, wood finish. You're like, "Whoa, this shit's professional." People really friendly. "Oh yeah, what do you think about this?" It was buy one get one free. Ola wanted 3 packs, and then he's like, "Oh, do you want like 3 free packs?" And she was like, yeah." So she was like Santa Claus with that shit. So I said to Joey, I said, "Mate, let's meet up first day in Vegas before it all kicks off. Maybe let's have a beer or whatever." And Ola came, and she's like, "Hey, you guys, you should have some." And like, kind of had half each. And you know, the thing with edibles is,
I was already sideways because I'd had a couple of beers.
Yeah.
And after I put down the first beer, because I'm like jet lagged
as
right?
hell.
And you're in Vegas, so you're circadian, like you're all fucked up.
Yep.
Even if you try not. And that first beer, I was like, "Whoa, I'm lightheaded," and it felt good. But so I think a couple of drinks down, and then Ola's like slipping us these gummies.
And anyway, I don't smoke, and marijuana is not in my vocabulary really. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize. I mean, we are squinty humans at the best of times.
Bro, I had the Levi eyes on.
Bro, it was like, yeah, I saw a comment. It was like, "We could blindfold you with dental floss." I was like, I didn't realize until we were like, it was probably we're a couple more drinks in, a couple more edibles in, and then we're sitting there. And what was the moment, Joey, where you were like,
we went for a walk because you just lost all the time.
You're wandering,
you're always wandering
through all the hotels,
and we ended up sitting in like somewhere on the casino floor, but it was where the sports betting was,
bar
right?
to the side, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's not like a cool sports bar. It's just like they got this huge screen that's
display,
like the size of, I don't know, a
wall.
billboard, and it's got all the horse races or whatever. And we're sitting, there's couches, and we're sitting there, and I think you were talking a lot as you do, and I was just like sinking into this couch. And I'm like, "Oh, JT won't stop talking." And then I'm like, "I can't talk." I'm like, "Oh, I can't get off this couch." And I was like, "This isn't the high that I like. This isn't how I wanted to feel." Yeah, you brought me a drink.
I brought you a beer. Well, I was just trying to keep it going because I was like,
you did good.
Super.
You're like, "I'll get drinks." I think I said, "I'll get them."
Yeah.
And I was like, I just couldn't bring myself to stand up.
And I was
so
like,
20 minutes later, like, "I'll get some drinks."
Yes. And you were saying the beer changed on you.
Bro, I'm like, JT brought me this beer, and I'm like, you're like, "Oh, I got you an IPA." The guy said it's a good local one or whatever.
Some nonsense.
And I'm like, "Oh, it tastes like syrup." I'm like, it's just getting stuck in my mouth. And it's like, I had a couple of swigs of it, and it was like, I can't, bro.
No, we had to call it, and then Ola's like, we're pretty fucked up at this point. We go outside. It's quite bright. Like we turn towards the hotel, and I was like, "Oh, I'll take a photo," and we're like, just looking super baked. But anyway,
it was good times. Those edibles followed us around for the rest of, and Ola was just like just at random intervals, like, "Do you want one?" And I was like, "Nah,
it's breakfast, man. Chill. It's 8 a.m.
I need to be able to talk today."
Need to pay attention today. I think it got the prince worse than us, actually.
Yeah, but he likes that, which I realized, like, because the next night we went out to dinner, right? And Prince had him, and he'd be like, "I'm pretty high, eh?" Like he'd not say anything for like an hour, and then he's like, "I'm pretty high, eh?" And then proceed to not say anything for the rest of the night.
Yes.
And then the next day he's like, "I had another gummy," and I'm like, "Bro, you must love this shit."
Yeah,
he does.
Good times. Let's go back to the matches. I want to talk about Levi Jones Leary. Oh my God.
Right. Well, the big highlight.
Bro,
what are we talking? Him back taking Hulk?
Let's talk about all of it. So Levi has been a friend of ours for a long time. We've both trained with him, and we actually helped him rehab his shoulder about 12 months ago. So it was great to do some work with him and just respect the hell out of him. And in my opinion, and I say this with no shade at all, when he won the Spider 100 grand a couple of years back in the gi, I was like,
it was probably about 6 years ago.
I was like, that's it. Like, it's over now. When he beat Lucas Lepre at the Euros, I was like, it's Levi time.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite play out like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't
next
necessarily
year wasn't the
didn't quite realize that potential. But here's the thing: he has been training with Lachlan Giles full time for pretty much the last 2 years. Like he's based himself in Melbourne, and then when we saw him combine bolos with leg locks, oh my god,
Yeah.
game over. Him heel hooking Roberto Jimenez like in that super tight, and Roberto's just looking at his leg folding inside out, and he's just like just eating it. And you're like, bro, the next thing to happen is snap your ligaments. And then, holy goodness, it's like, that's dangerous. It's not just Levi maintaining guard. It's him actively getting on your legs and threatening the hell out of you.
Yeah. The way he coupled like his bolo game with that roll back into the saddle was so slick. Bro. I couldn't even process it at the time. I've had to like thank God for Instagram. People like were drilling this shit that Levi did at CJ, and it's like, whoa, look at that. Like, it's incredible. That guy just has the best like upside down awareness of anyone, right? Like, I think that when you're looking at someone like that, it's like when you see like people tricking and gymnasts and stuff, and they can like have aerial awareness. Levi's got this upside down awareness.
It's amazing.
Yeah, which is, I mean, you have to do bolos for a decade to build that, right?
Yeah, and his ability to pummel and just post and move and like his guard retention, and I think it really showed against Ty Rotolo. The fact that Ty couldn't pass was exceptional. I didn't actually expect that. I thought invariably one of the Rotolos is going to just leap over Levi's guard somehow. That didn't happen. And also, he wrecked Ty's knee in, I think it was it was in the first round where there was a big spinning exchange, and you can actually see in the replay in Ty's face, he's escaping, but he goes,
yeah,
like his knee kind of twists and extends. And it's kind of like a twisting knee bar position. He gets out.
Is it like an outside heel hook? Do you remember?
Yeah, it could be like he switches his foot and spins, but you can see his knee kind of hyperextending, and then he does get out. But for the rest of the match, he's not passing as well. And credit to him, he did the rest of the match, right? Like, and it wasn't obvious that he was injured, but
no, I think it was more obvious to people watching on the stream.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I saw some people close to me were like, Cade, like when Cade won, how he was talking about like, oh, you know, my brother got injured, blah, blah. It's like, Levi injured him.
Yeah.
Like Levi busted him up. Like that was his doing. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't a slip.
And just words of comments. I don't know. The guy's YouTube title is like CB67560 indiscriminate. Don't know who the hell you are. Look, man, I don't hate to see anything. This guy said, oh, you'd hate to see Levi win the $1 million competing like that. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's jiu-jitsu. Like, Levi was actually more attacking than so many other people. So if Levi were to have won the $1 million and nothing else changed in the match between him and Cade, I would be stoked because he was actually trying to get stuff done. And just prior to the Hulk match, right? Like, Hulk submitting Joseph Chen the way he did.
What an upset.
That was kind of very surprising, right?
Yeah.
Because Hulk has a bit more of that traditional, like, takedown, just hold you down.
He was looking kind of lost for options.
Maybe pass.
Yeah.
And then he just pulls out the calf slice knee crush. You're just like,
it's great.
Damn it. It was mad. And I said before the match between Levi, and this is why I was blowing up so much. You guys didn't see this. I said, I think the only way Levi can really beat Hulk is by taking his back. Because I don't think...
that was where back take came from.
Back take! Because I didn't see Levi getting under to the legs because Hulk just wouldn't let you.
Hulk's just this torso.
And he just hugs you, right? But Levi has amazing freaking back takes. So I just thought, well, if there's one way he could win, that would be how he could win.
You know, I sent Levi a DM on Instagram shortly before the match and said, don't forget the back take.
Just to remind him.
It's still unread, but
yeah, it's like Joey said.
I'm pretty sure he saw the notification.
But yeah, it's that K-guard kind of spot over the arm. Like instead of
I can't make sense of that back take at all.
It's awesome. And man, it's amazing to think about his ability to control a match against someone who's so strong. And Hulk had to cut massive weight to go under 80.
I also give Levi the Bulletproof for BJJ bonus prize for being the most handsome rig at the event.
Bro, he looked
looks good.
Yeah.
Fucking jacked, lean. Extremely handsome, more handsome than Luke Rockhold by far.
No, actually, Joey was saying how handsome Luke Rockhold was at the
I've
start.
always thought Rockhold was a very handsome guy. However, spiritually, I don't think he's particularly attractive.
No.
There's a bit of a kind of bitterness there. Levi, however, it's just good times. Xanadu.
Like, tell the story about Xanadu when because we were there with Mikhail, Yaya, and Mon.
About the Xanadu thing?
Do you remember the story?
Bro, I'm probably going to cry when I tell you. It was the sweetest tale.
So
this episode is brought to you by Parry Athletics. Parry Athletics make the best no-gi training gear in the world of jiu-jitsu. They've been a show sponsor of ours for some time now. We love them. We love their gear. They make the greatest training shorts, both for in the gym, lifting weights and doing your mobility, as well as being on the mat. You can get 20% off when you use the code Bulletproof20 at checkout. Go to parryathletics.com and make sure to use the code Bulletproof20 to get 20% off.
So here is the reason why this is going from Mikhail, who's been a training partner of Levi's for a long time. So please tell.
Well, correct me in my recollection. So when he was a baby, his mother would call, because Xanadu means like perfect place.
Yeah,
right?
like a heaven.
Yeah, like my
sorts.
paradise kind of thing. And his mother would call him Xanadu because that's what he was to her.
Oh, right.
God damn, that hits so deep as a father.
Oh.
But so, yeah, and so, you know, for him to carry that as an athlete, God damn, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at me, I got to hold it back, bro. Shit.
Hold it in, son. Cut to me. I don't give a care about that shit because I was like, yo, rip Cade Rotolo's leg off. That's what I was like. And
Take it back to Xanadu.
And the crowd was like, USA, USA. I'm like, why you always got to take it there? Like,
Yeah, why does it have to be a nationalist?
why is it going to be a nationalist thing? But what was so interesting was the CJI crowd was really mixed. There were like clearly wrestling crew there because Jason Nolf was in there. As an elite level wrestler from Penn State and a legend within the sport. Also, you had Pat Downey. So there was like wrestlers in the context, and there was another gentleman who was also a high level wrestler. I've forgotten his name.
Back to the highlights.
So Cade versus Levi for the final, and I didn't actually expect it to be fireworks. I expected it to be a little bit style versus style, which is the unpassable guard versus the dynamic passing guy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it played. From the beginning, it was 1-1. Like 1 round Cade, 1 round Levi.
Yep.
Or it might have been a
I think
split
Levi
decision.
won the first, or maybe
He
first
won
and
two.
second. Yeah. Okay.
But here's the thing. The crowd was behind Cade. And
Yeah.
Cade was...
Because and here's Cade didn't go into Levi's game. He didn't want to engage his guard.
Of course
And
not.
Levi didn't go into Cade's game, right? He didn't
Well,
stand.
no, he did. He did
Well,
stand
sorry,
up.
no, he did momentarily, but for like 95% of the match, he's like, I'm playing my guard game. So
Sure.
I think they both were equally respecting each other's kind of game. But then there is something about like pulling guard that is kind of passive, right? Even if
It's not. It's not. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit take. It is not passive. Okay, Craig Jones. How has Craig Jones won in the ADCC?
Oh, of course, but I'm not saying that the guard is not an aggressive thing, or that it doesn't, or that you don't.
Saying from
inflict damage.
appearances.
Yeah, from a spectacle point of view, it's more exciting for most people to watch people stand up and go takedowns.
And I think the difficult thing here was it was directly following Tackett and Cade.
Yeah.
Which
was a
we've got to
stand-up
say
war.
was probably one of the greatest no-gi jiu-jitsu matches of all time. Like, it's right up there in terms of exchange, back and forth, craziness. That felt like...
That was pinnacle.
That was the best match, in my opinion. It was like the most exciting match out of the whole tournament. But, people got to play their A game, right? You've got the two best guys in the world.
You can't, I would never hold that against him. But I think, from that outsider's view, there's always like a bias towards the person that doesn't pull guard being like more action driven, even though actually, if you look at it objectively, Cade was not bringing more action.
He disengaged.
No, I think Levi tried to bring more action.
And every time Levi would go to his leg, he'd just pull out. He would just disengage, and he actively turned his back. Like there was no penalties there, right? Like obviously, Cade, like he turned his back, like take my back. He did that like 3 or 4 times.
From what, like
he just turned his
standing
back,
or-
like, yeah, come
right.
on, come take my back. And then this should be very telling as to why I would actually believe Levi to have won the match. Cade went, all right, I'll play guard. Oh, you forgot, son. You forgot. Levi's got pressure passing, dog. And he came up and he went to the leg drag and you're like, oh, he might pass. And then Cade's like, oh, no. I'm going to stand back up.
Yeah.
And then Levi's like, oh, okay, I'll play guard.
Didn't you say Ty was yelling like, don't do that again, Cade?
It was like, Cade made fun of him and said, oh, like it's so easy to just pull guard. It's like, bro, it's actually not. It's just Levi makes it look so, like he just does it so well.
Effortless.
And definitely towards the end of the match, it was getting a bit stalematey. But in truth, if you look at the rules under CJI, really Levi should have won because he was the one who was actually trying to do stuff, whereas Cade was just sitting on the guard and he actually didn't successfully pass or even try to pass in that last round.
Yeah, I did feel otherwise. I felt that I was like, I think it goes to Cade.
No, I knew Cade would win.
But
I knew Cade would win.
I don't think it should have gone to Levi. I was like, do need to watch it again. But I was like, yeah. But people are torn, right? It seems like there's 50-50. People like, yeah, Cade. People like, no, Levi got robbed.
Yeah, I think if you go back, you look at the scoring and you watch the match with no sound, no commentary, Levi wins. Whatever your personal bias is about guard passing, it doesn't matter. Levi did more. But understandably, Cade is the number one guy in the world right now. And Levi couldn't quite successfully implement his game. So there it is.
I've had that situation a couple of times recently where I've come to training with some water, but I haven't had any electrolytes, and I've finished training and I've had to go to a convenience shop and buy myself some kind of sports drink, usually a Gatorade. Cost me like $7. It's small and it really doesn't contain that much of the good stuff that I'm looking for, which are the electrolytes. Sodi, on the other hand, is my partner when it comes to hydration, and I'd simply just run out of it. And it sucks because I got to go buy expensive stuff that doesn't do anywhere near as good a job. I'm super stoked that we've been restocked with the Sodi, and now I can be properly hydrated when I train jiu-jitsu. This has always been an underexplored aspect of my training, and I'm so stoked that we now have these guys in place to support us and also the listeners of the show. So if you want to be hydrated on the mats so that you can perform at your best and have the best mental clarity while training, get yourself some Sodi. Go to sodi.com.au. That's SODII.com.au. Get yourself some delicious hydration salts and use the code Bulletproof15 for 15% off. Go to sodi.com.au. Get yourself hydrated.
Oh my goodness, CJI after party, because this happened before day 3. So I was able to have a chat to Adam Jones. Adam Jones was not happy with me after the bad stuff I had said about his brother, misinformation I was spreading apparently. And, I apologized to him because I'm friends. I have been friends with Adam Jones. I got love for the guy. We were training partners. He's a good dude. So I bumped into him at the airport and I said, mate, apologies to you. And, apologies to Craig too, I'm happy to take that stuff. I want us to be cool. So he wasn't real happy with me at the time, but he had to think about it. He came back to me and said, fair enough, man. That was a good move. I appreciate that. Buy us a beer at the after party, which I did. And we were there at the after party. What they did not tell us about the after party is that you had to wear long pants. I didn't know this because I'm like, it's a jiu-jitsu after party. Who cares? Like, it's Vegas. People wearing socks and slides in the casino. Who cares? I could not get into the after party because I was wearing shorts. I had to go to the gift shop and buy ladies' athleisure wear hammer pants for $110 so I could get into the club. And I said to the bouncer, bro, you better let me in, man. I just spent this money. I left the tags in, by the way. But he let me in, thankfully. And so did Julian.
You look pretty good in those. Like, they didn't look bad on you.
They're okay. Felt like I dream of genie type shit. But and then some other guy too. All three of us bought these ladies' athleisure wear pants to get us into the club.
I mean, that's a rookie mistake, eh? Showing up to a club in shorts?
Maybe. I just thought, it's jiu-jitsu. I didn't understand that they had just gotten a spot within this much larger nightclub.
Yeah, right.
So that was my misunderstanding. But we got in.
We go. So, you get into what time do we get there? It's like midnight or some shit. You guys are there a bit earlier. I got the traffic on the strip. We got there like past. Big club. It was actually quite hilarious. We were in the line, and the line's, pretty thick and long, and there was this crew of, I think they were Mexican behind me, like a group of guys and girls, and they were all dolled up, like ready for a big night. So I wasn't really sure, but they didn't look like jiu-jitsu folk. And then Craig walked in and was kind of standing sort of around, and people were just like all over Craig and this, and he's on the phone and big smiles and photo, and and these people behind me were like, I could see they were just sort of enamored by him.
What's going on?
And they're like, excuse me. He was like, who is that? And I was like, funny you should ask. He's an Australian grappler. And they're like, what is grappling? And so I gave them the little synopsis, and they were like, and I was like, so this is his party, and they were like, oh, cool.
Did you show them any berimbolo? Did you pull guard? It's like,
let me take you through the whole live stream right now while we're in line.
But it was happening. I actually thought we were in the club. We weren't. It's in Wynn, this big casino hotel. And so we made our way through, and we
were in the club. You just weren't in the VIP section.
No. We weren't in the club.
Oh,
there's like an outdoor bar area, and there's tables, like craps and blackjack, and you're like, oh, this club's popping. There's like pools and fountains. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then I was chatting with Adam and Mikhail, and we're kind of hanging out and having a couple of drinks. Straight away, the prince goes to the tables.
Yeah,
Jack followed him, and then they're like, "Oh no, the club's in there." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And there's just this line, the most epic line, snaking through what I thought was the club, but was like the outdoor area. Yep. And they're like, "Oh, if you want to get in there, you got to join that line." I was like, "No, we've got Adam Jones as an ace up our sleeve. He'll get us in." So anyway, it all played out. We're having a couple of drinks. We're having a good time, seeing heaps of people from the event. It was cool. And then finally went to the head of the line where the security kind of letting people in. And they gave Adam like 4 wristbands. So it was himself, his partner Ash, Mikhail and Mon, and they were gone. And we were like,
I mean, the anticipation, you're like they got up to go, and you're like, come on, let's go. Like we're getting in. And we snake through, and we get to the front of the thing, and the rope opens, and those 4 go in, rope closes.
Dagger in the heart. But
that was great.
It was quite funny because eventually, over time, it just opened up, right? So there was, towards the end, like it was just opened up, and so there was a section which Craig had sectioned off, private section for the CJI crew, and I made my way into the club with Ola, and I found Owen of Flanagan. And he was he had drinks in, and he's waiting for the bathrooms line for the bathroom. I'm like, hey, how you going? Yeah, good, having a chat. I was like, oh mate, I have like he looked really good, and I thought he could have done better in the tournament. He's like, yeah, but he's such a chill human, he didn't care. And I said, oh man, what's happening? Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, if you see Charles around, he's like a rabid dog, I
got to call Charles out, man. We're at the same 2 events.
He came up.
The whole thing, and we texted on Instagram. Yeah, man, I'll see you there. Cool, I'll be at that for sure. We'll see each other there. Make sure let me know where you're sitting. And we didn't ships in the night.
Where was you?
Didn't see him the whole weekend.
No, he took my back at the event. Gave me a little cheeky kiss on the cheek.
How good?
Gave him a hug. Lovely guy, but yeah, he was on a different level. He was in a different dimension, I believe.
Good man.
And I said to
what Vegas does to a young man.
I said to Owen, I said, what's going on with chat? And I was like, I think you need to talk to Craig Jones. And he was like, what does that mean? I was like, I think you have to go talk to him. And he was like, oh, I thought you meant we are going to do some cocaine. He was like, is that a euphemism for doing some blow? Let's go talk to Craig Jones. I was like, that's classic. He's such a funny guy. Owen is a...
Dude, he's a mad funny.
And then, eventually got up in the section, and James Smith was there. Hodger Gracie was there randomly.
I saw. He's tall, huh?
He's such a big rig.
He's so tall.
Gucci Smoothie was there, just thrashing around his...
Who's that?
Founder of Street X.
Yeah, okay.
Just thrashing around his rat's tail, looking classy. No, it was cool. There was a lot of...
that makes a lot of sense that the owner of Street X has a ratty.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Perth's finest.
How good.
I think...
they got great looking shit, by the way.
They got great merch.
I'm like... That brand, the shit that I see from their Instagram ads, I'm like, good on you guys.
Yeah,
like this shit looks awesome, and it's an Australian thing, and you're like, that's mad. It's got like some kind of X factor to it.
They're doing great. And then at a critical point, we must have come in late because I saw James Smith, I saw Deeren, I saw like their kind of crew.
Deeren. Yeah, I went and harassed that guy.
Yeah.
I complimented him on his touch. I don't know. He posted some weeks ago him playing a soccer match.
Okay.
And I was like, motherfucker's got a touch on him.
He's good, eh?
Yeah, good. And I was like, and I don't know if you fucking remember, it was probably hammered. I was probably hammered.
Everybody was hammered. I think the only person who wasn't hammered was Kenta. He was like the only one there who was not drinking, still having a good time.
He doesn't drink?
I don't know. He was just super chill. But it was nice to, like, I actually had a chat to Craig very briefly. I got a minute with him.
Did you?
Yeah, because I had chatted to Adam, and we're good. Shout out Adam Jones. He's savage. I love your mullet, by the way. And I was like, no, I want to go talk to Craig because I wanted to talk to him. Just, like whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, anything I say, I think doesn't mean shit to Craig anyway. He doesn't pay attention. But I just want to say to him, like, and I did. I said, mate. And actually, when I went up to like shake his hand, he was like, "No, get away from me!" Like he was like, "Nah." Like, and I was like, "Bro, come on." And I said, "Mate, what you did with CJI, it's changed the game. You gotta see that for what it is. It's fuck. You cannot deny what has been done. You got 2 grapplers paid $1 million each, and everyone else got paid. And you put on this amazing event. And also, can we just say,
he's like, thanks for telling me. I just did it.
No, he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. But I wanted to give him his props. And I was like, man, I got to apologize. I talk a lot of shit about you. Probably, like, I talk more shit than you deserve. And he said to me, nah, mate, I probably deserve it. And I was like, you anyway, I was like, cool, man. And I was like, look, there's no point in me talking shit about you. Like, what you've done has changed the game. I think it's rad. So just want to give you respect, man. He's like, thanks, bro. Shook hands, little hug, whatever.
Wow.
He's like, have a good time, man. I was
wow.
like, cheers, bro. Like, and in person, Craig and I have never really had any disagreement, person to person, So that was cool.
In person, you've never really had any disagreement?
No, other than like me trying to rip his foot off or him actually ripping my leg off,
So where's it all come from?
No, I just think it comes from us being very different people. We're just very different people, and then, and that's okay. I can accept that he is a rock star and that's how he lives his life, and I'm Captain, get your hydration in. I'm Captain Dad, I'm Mr. Responsible. So, and that's totally fine because I am trying to, and what we are doing is trying to help folks be healthier, and Craig doesn't give a shit about that. And that's fine because what he's done has still been net positive for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Even though, he lives his life how he does, And so we're at this big party. Next minute, there's a call for the strippers and everyone bails. I was like, whoa, follow Hodger Gracie. Come on, Ola, let's go. We left Jack and the Prince on the tables, I think. I can't remember what was going on there.
They were still playing.
We just kind of got...
I got booted out of the blackjack area. They're like, hey... They're like, this is closing, the bar's closed and shit. But they're like, no, the players can keep playing.
You're not.
Players have still got drinks coming, but no one else can have drinks.
Yeah, and so at least for us, we ended up out of the club and following this parade. But then it just kind of it was like the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, like follow me to the strip club, and then just disappeared. And then we kind of ended up at a bar, and we just hung out there. And somehow Joe knew everyone. This is the thing I got to say, people, and the thing that's underestimated. Joe, when he's on one, he makes friends with everybody, even people who had nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. We're just standing at the bar, and 3 random guys walk past, and he goes, hey, what's going on with Steve Jobs right here? And this guy's like, oh, what's up, my guy?
Yeah,
and
a cool guy.
His mates knew you, and I was like, how the
His mates listened to the podcast, did they?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
Maybe one of them.
Yeah, Steve Jobs, his California cat. He had a long sleeve black top on, like, looks like Steve Jobs,
Turtleneck.
clearly. Yeah. Real nice guy. And then, yeah, his mate, we're chatting for a while, and his mate's like, wait, do you guys
have a
podcast or some shit? Talking about
funny you mention it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, when it's a fair call. When I'm up there,
Bro,
I like
you were high-fiving
connecting the dots and shit.
Right, yeah.
Well, because it can be a bit stale at events like that, right?
Sure.
Everyone's like trying to have a sick time, but everyone's a bit uptight.
Trying a bit hard.
Yeah, and it's kind of this human condition where we're like, particularly in like Australia, America, where we really want to have a good time, but we're like kind of too uptight to like go and talk to a stranger.
Don't want to be silly or...
Yeah, so and I'm often reflecting on that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a little bit lit here, and then I'm going to go and do the thing and like just start up some conversations with random.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good. It worked out well.
Yeah, Joey was basically like the Australian Fonz. He was just like, hey, hey.
And then Wizard of Ozbek walked through.
Yeah,
he's a dude. Christian, shout out to that guy.
And he's one of the kind of James Smith.
Yeah,
those guys.
Yeah, but he was just cruising through, and I was like, bro, I love your takedown shit I love watching your takedowns on Instagram. He was really lovely. He'd done well at the Open. I don't know what he placed, but he'd kick some ass there.
Yeah, he's a super tough grappler. He's at Hodger Gracie's too. I think that was the connection, the Hodger Gracie Jiu Jitsu connection.
Yeah,
and then outwalked the Prince and Jack. At this point, Julian had gone home sensibly, had gone home early, and when I had last seen them, Jack was up a stack. And the Prince was down to his last chip.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to leave now.
Prince took a couple of L's.
And then it switched. In the time that we didn't see him, Prince just came out flushed with cash. And Jack's like, I might have some chips left. No, not at all. So the tides had turned. The tables had turned. But we have to talk about the next day. Because the next day, history was made. Adele Fornarino.
That's a pretty good impersonation of the ring announcer.
Yeah, I didn't roll my...
And how Adele was sensational.
She was on it. She came in. She was switched on.
So what did we see? Did she submit? No, she didn't submit everyone. Her semi-final match was
4 out of 6.
Ref's decision, wasn't it? 4 out of 6. 4 submissions out of 6 matches.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think in her semi-final, she went to the leg attack and the girl fell. It was actually an Atos teammate, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
So she submitted in the final Bia Basilico she won, I think, submission of the tournament with the Mia lock, which is the overhook armbar.
Right, that was
close guard.
Her category.
And that was quite fast.
That was like within the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, because Bia is like a beast.
Yeah.
A real beast. So that was going to look like a real problem. And then everyone's like, holy shit, she just won gold. And then so I was backstage. I was exploiting my backstage pass to just loiter. And I got some quick footage with her, which will be up on the vlog very soon. And basically I did a little interview with her. And she's like, yeah, I can't believe it. Like she's just, Adele's an incredibly humble human. She's like, oh, it's amazing. This dream come true. She's like, I'm thinking I'll just do the absolute just for a laugh. I was like, great. Awesome. And then Mo walked past. She's like, can I do the absolute? And Mo's like, yeah, sure. You're the champ. Go for it.
Wow.
And she was the smallest person in under 55. She's literally the lightest person in the lightest category.
It's hard to grasp how small she is when you see her on social media because she's just a human, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh yeah, she looks like a regular size. And then you see her out there standing next to some of the other athletes and you're like, oh wow, she really is quite a bit smaller.
But she's strong as...
Bro, that close guard is just like a vice.
Yes.
And when she gets the overhook, like you could see like after what she did in the final when she submitted Bia and then she came into the absolute, people were just like wanted no part of her close guard.
No, she was getting stalled. Like the bigger women were actually legit kind of intimidated by her ability to get the leg lock or get the arm bar.
Yeah, like we saw like in the final, we saw like the classic stalling strategies we spoke about on the other ep.
Bia Mesquita.
Yeah.
The lady goat.
Yeah.
And dude, she did the similar to like Levi with underhooking the arm, not the leg for the K and then rolling the leg over. She almost had the arm bar. Like that's what she's very well known for, is just being able to armbar pretty much anyone. And she just locked in and just wouldn't let her have it. So she turned it into a triangle and then she just controlled the match from there. And
she held that triangle for like 5 minutes.
Right. And
a long time.
Oh, man, I just really wanted her to win on the finish. But the fact that she could even make the final of the absolute, which is amazing, and then be intimidating one of the best female grapplers of the last 10 years is why she has her name, the Lady Goat, and then beat her. Like, it was on deductions. Bia Mesquita got penalized twice for stalling, rightfully so, because she just sat there and did nothing.
Yep.
And Adele just kept moving forward and kept trying to push it. And man, it was mind-blowing to see that and be there on that day. And just be there firsthand. I was just like, it was like a dream come true. It's like watching Lachlan Giles when he won his bronze medal and he had that run. It would just set your heart on fire because you know the person, they're your friend, you've trained with them, and then they achieve something which seems impossible.
Yeah.
They make it a reality.
Yeah.
And they beat multiple world champions on the path.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you ended up in the final and it went your way. It was like, no, you dominated.
Yeah. And to be who she is, and I think probably a little bit slept on. I don't think anybody expected her to achieve what she achieved in the manner in which she did. And so now she's double gold, her weight 55 and absolute champion is remarkable.
And she's called out Fionn.
Oh my God.
What a
so good. It was so good because that is a funny moment because Fionn was actually there in the crowd and she didn't know it. And so
Adele didn't know she was there.
She didn't know she was there. And so
but they weren't putting the flow cameras on her because she's a CJR gal.
I was really wishing it was like
bring her out.
Yeah, bring her down from the stands.
Yeah.
Let's have the face off right here. Because I don't know if Fionn is necessarily going to go back to do any kind of ADCC thing. But, you know, Adele, very humble in her acceptance. And she's just like, oh, wow, I'm just stoked. And yeah, this is so great. And then she's like, well, there's someone out there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I like it. She's humble, but she seems to be, at least in the last kind of year or so, like embracing a character.
Yeah.
With the daddy thing. And I think she's got some more, like, you know, she's only partway through that transition.
Yeah.
I think, you know, a little bit, maybe lose a little bit of the humility and bring out a bit more of the fuck you, I think is like,
oh yeah,
I'm excited for it. Like, I don't know. You got to be like, if you want to step up to like this, I don't know, this level that's only reserved for the special few, you have to go beyond just being like a good sports person.
Yeah.
You know, and you look like Craig status, Gordon Ryan status. It's like when you play that role, and I'm like, yeah, you can do it, Adele. Like you've got the jiu-jitsu to back it up.
You have the permission.
It doesn't mean you become an asshole. You just play the role, you know?
Or be an asshole, whatever. Like
that's one way to go, right?
Be competitive. Like not just in your jiu-jitsu, but in your mentality. Like I found the post-match speeches were just so boring from so many people. I've had adversity in my life.
Bro.
No one loves me. I overcame.
There was so many people talking about adversity in the last 12 months. And I'm like, I mean, fair. Like
is
maybe
this a formula?
Maybe you've all been through some shit.
No.
And, you know, but it was like, why is everyone coming out with this same story?
Yeah. And then, yeah, obviously, thanks God, thanks family. And that's.
Yeah.
And now, actually, I'm going to say the whole speech in Portuguese. Dude, you had 10 minutes. Like you had your moment, you know, like maybe we need to get some subtitles. But what was great is what makes competitive sports so great is rivalries, right? And so for Adele to call out Fionn, yes, that's exciting because she fought Fionn when she was probably a little bit green and Fionn kind of squashed her. And now she's really, she's unlocked and she's the champ now. So that's a tasty matchup. And I believe that we are going to see some awesome rivalries going forward with a lot of the matches that went down because there was so many exciting moments, but we wanted to just shine a light on.
Yeah, big ups, Adele.
History being made.
Everybody proud.
It was amazing. There it is, folks. Now, if you love this kind of chat and you want to get more of it, we would like you to like, subscribe, follow, all the good things. We appreciate it. You.